Welcome to episode number 9. Number 9
of the Freaking Odd Podcast.
The Freaking Odd Podcast. Da-da-ding. We're sitting here with Nick the Reefer Kiefer, Nicholas Robert Bastion III, and Jason Bear. And then before us we have a giant box of chicken wings and waffle fries, which I am now going to proceed to eat off microphone so that you don't have to deal with my disgusting sound waves.
Mouth sounds.
Mouth sounds.
Should just put the mic on unidirectional and put it right in front of your face.
We learned our lesson the first time. So I'm going to eat this. We're going to save a waffle fry. And Nick the Reefer Kiefer is going full waffle yes.
I didn't approve of that name.
Right after this break.
It's just a box.
We're back. Back in action. The chicken's gone. Let's get this out of here. And all that's left is a single mutated waffle fry.
That's not a single one. That's like 1.5.
That's why I said mutated.
It's like,
And-
kill me.
Today marks a
Momentous occasion.
momentous occasion. This is the first time. Tell him, Nick.
This is the
Tell him, Nick Kiefer.
first time I guess I have to eat a bloated waffle fry.
Last week, to our astonishment, there was root beer.
Yeah, last week he had never had a sip of root beer before, and then out of nowhere he's like, "This is my first root beer."
Much to everyone's amusement.
While I'm drinking a root beer, I like how it says on the label, "It's good." That's their slogan.
It's good.
I
Trust
believe.
us.
Yeah.
Should just say, drink this.
Buy me and drink.
It might hydrate you.
It'd be funny if it just said, "It's good."
God damn it! Who forgot the apostrophe S?
It good. Oh man. Well, Nick.
What? Or that Nick? Which one?
What the fuck was that?
Your house is haunted.
They're coming.
Little ghost kids running around upstairs?
I hope the mic picked up. That'd be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably did.
What's that?
They probably did.
What, were those little ghost kids, or was that just?
No,
your
it's just someone just going down the stairs.
Oh. I thought you were like, yeah, happens.
I interact with the spirits occasionally.
I should have brought my Ouija board, but it's dangerous. Nick doesn't want to do the Ouija.
I don't want to mess with Ouija.
Yeah,
Me neither.
I still have one, but I don't want to get into
If
it.
he doesn't want to mess with it, I don't want to touch it.
Maybe we'll just look at it. We'll just like look at it and be like, if anybody's there, move. Approach the waffle fry.
I have to now? Do I have to eat it now?
Approach it.
All right, folks, here he goes. He's picking it up.
This.
It's a half a
He's
waffle
picked
fry.
up the mutated part of the waffle fry.
Do I have to eat it now?
Well, eat the main part. That's the
Oh.
crappy part. Nobody's like, don't smack it.
Do I have to eat it in one bite like you?
Yeah.
I seriously?
That's
I hate big bites.
that's how you eat the waffle fry.
Okay.
Smelling it. He's.
It's cold.
How's that waffle fry?
Well seasoned.
How would you rate it compared to our normal fry?
Better because of seasoning. But it's cold.
Okay, you gotta eat the mutated part too.
Okay.
It's going to give him superpowers.
I can breathe.
Waffle, yes. Oh man, I'm glad I put the cyanide on the mutated part.
Man,
Hey, like that's seasoning.
my last moments of life. And it's a cold waffle fry.
It's a cold waffle fry. Well,
Pretty good.
that was a lot. that was a lot less explosive as I thought it was going to be.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Starting off with a bang as always.
You're on the Freaking On podcast.
Should I have eaten him? You're like, yes!
Yeah,
We thought-
maybe we'll just go back. Just do that now. Just go, I love it!
I love
We
it!
thought you were going to stand up and flip the table.
Just
I don't think I could.
more!
I think it weighs a bunch.
Oh, we should tell them what they did. I wrote on the receipt twice, and like I order online. I put, please keep fries in separate box, and at the bottom I also wrote, please keep fries in a separate box. And then I get there, and she's like,
It was in a separate box, right?
well, that's what should have happened. But I went there, and she's like, we saw that you wanted your fries in a separate box on the receipt, but we just shoved them in the same box and put a piece of wax paper over them. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's fine.
We saw your request, but we completely ignored
Yeah,
it.
right? How hard would, even just to like lie and just take the fries out and put them in another box. But then the person could have died if they had some kind of waffle fry allergy.
I hope not.
We'll find out.
I don't feel so good, guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's poop all over my shoes.
You're just like staring at me. You made me do this.
What have I become? Wow.
So did you bring the comic book, Jason?
I didn't. I didn't bring it because I didn't want to bring it out into the cold.
Yeah, last week Jason talked about a pretty cool comic book that he bought, but it's kind of valuable.
Yeah.
I was going to steal it anyway.
He's too good for us mere mortals.
I just left it in the box at home.
Get off your high horse.
Stop letting your horse smoke.
That was a bad pun.
I know.
Oh, God.
You have to leave.
This episode is going so downhill.
Nick's just like, I gotta save it with some of my humor.
I'm glad last week.
That's why. Now you see why I don't write comedy.
Oh, jeez. I'm glad last week's was so okay.
I can just picture Nick like on stage dressed as Jerry Seinfeld or something like. It's like, so what about that airplane food? I don't have a punchline.
You know what they say.
It's bad. What dude?
One guy's just like, oh! Oh!
He tells the joke. One guy in the audience is like, "What did they say?"
He's like, he told that one last week, but I laugh every time.
That gets me right in the funny bone. Oh, so Jason, do you have any witty banter prepared?
I have something prepared.
What?
I believe that you have a confession to make
What?
on air.
Oh yeah.
Let it out.
Couple episodes ago, Jason was talking about doing telekinesis using a pinwheel thing, and to prevent myself from looking foolish, I kept my mouth shut, but I have in fact tried that myself, and since my house isn't level, I stuck the needle in a hot dog bun.
Did it work?
Inconclusive.
You're just like staring at it, trying to get the pinwheel to move, but the hot dogs one's just rotating under it and the pinwheel's staying still. You're like, it's not working!
I couldn't get anything to happen because I ate the hot dog bun.
I was going to say you forgot about it. You just find a moldy hot dog bun with a bunch of pins sticking out of it.
Your mom's just like, what the fuck?
My mom walks in, she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just like, "TK."
Oh, man.
I'd telekinetically pick up the hot dog bun and throw it at her.
You just telekinetically lift it up and slowly bring it to your mouth.
It was sitting on the floor. Gross.
Yeah. Yep. So Kiefer practiced telekinesis with a hot dog bun on the floor. So Baskin's like, should I tell them about my force powers?
Back onto witty banter. Break out thine monocle.
I don't have a monocle.
I don't have one either.
I wish I did.
Just make one.
Nick, do you have a monocle?
Why, I do say it's rather nice down here.
Nick, what'd you do with all that bread I gave you last week?
I ate it.
All of it?
I ate it all.
The whole thing?
It was delicious.
Nick, what'd you do with that empty jar I gave you?
I ate it.
Just what I intended for.
Jason gives the most deliciously edible gifts.
Oh god, have you ever seen that Strange Addiction show?
Yeah.
It was a show, I think it was on TLC, and it was just about people with strange addictions and behaviors, and this one guy would eat glass.
Oh, I've seen that
He
one.
would crush up light bulbs and just eat the glass and stuff.
Or
Yeah.
that guy who, like, did it with his car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like, Dad, I'm in love with my car, and his dad's just literally just the most what the fuck face in the world.
And this other dude would swallow bullets, and
Yeah.
they had them lodged in his chest.
That's crazy. I know there was one lady who would, I think, what did she snort? I think she snorted baby powder.
Oh,
She'd just take a spoon and be like, and she'd do it like constantly throughout the day.
yeah, and someone else would eat dryer sheets too.
Yeah.
Ew.
That's nasty.
That's gross. Just like sniffing baby powder, just like nothing for me, and then just eating dryer sheets, just like, oh,
Both at the same
that's
time.
sick.
Oh, there's another show kind of like that. It was on Netflix. It was just about strange people. And the
Mhm.
first episode was about these people who try to be real life superheroes.
Really?
And there's a lot of them in New York City. And they have this whole, I forgot what it was called, but they have this whole group and everything. Because there's this billionaire guy
Yeah.
who helps fund it. So they actually go out.
Batman?
No, he's he wears.
You mean Bruce Wayne?
I forget. He's some singer, but he like a lot of his fortune from his family because they were rich. So he does like all these hippie songs and stuff. So he turns into Peace Man at night. He puts these capes on. He has capes for his dogs and everything.
Yeah.
So then there's these kids probably about our age who started going out and just being vigilantes and stuff. And he found out about them, so he started giving them money and funding them. So then they showed a video of this one guy. Well, there's this one dude who was trained in martial arts. He's been doing martial arts for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and he goes out and he actually fights people and stuff. So then there's this other guy in like riot gear.
Yeah.
And he looks so badass. And then they show him try to go break up a fight, and he just gets punched in the head. His helmet turns sideways and he just falls to the ground. He's like, call 911.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
I want to see that.
That reminds me. Have you ever seen the Stan Lee superhero show, where he was picking a superhero
Oh, I
on
think I've seen
Sci-Fi?
that.
I don't think so. I've
You've
heard of
seen
it.
it.
The chicken lady.
Yeah, Fat Mama.
Yeah.
Fat mom.
Tell him, Nick.
Well, it was this show. Stan Lee was like the host, and he was just trying to pick a fake superhero out of everybody. And the final two was this one dude who was just, he needed to be a real superhero. He's like it was like a guy where if he lost, you were gonna read about his obituary the next day.
Yeah.
And then the runner-up was a lady, just an obese black woman, and her name was Fat Mama. And I don't remember what her superpower was.
I remember one clip. She ran up to someone's table and was just like, she grabbed their piece of chicken and was just like, Fat Mama needs this, and just ran up.
They did like a fake superhero bit, and like her arch nemesis was a giant baby chick that was called Chicken Man.
Like skyscraper sized chicken.
Yeah. That shit was awful.
I want to watch that again now. That guy, I forgot
Fat
about.
Mom was gonna stop you, Chicken Man.
I forgot about that guy who just wanted to be a superhero. He was
Okay.
almost like crying.
Yeah.
He's like, I need this.
So he won.
No.
Yeah, he won.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he won.
No, I thought Fat Mama
No,
won.
he definitely won.
Really?
Yeah. Fat Mama was probably like, no, give it to him.
Oh, yeah, didn't she do that?
No. But, I mean,
No!
one of them was like pretending to be a real superhero, another one was just a fat lady eating chicken.
I wonder what that guy who won's life is like now.
I don't know. Just imagine.
Do you think he's out in the streets just like, this is from Stan Lee?
It's that guy in the riot gear.
Yeah, he's gone through costume changes.
Call 911! Call my mom!
Wheelchair man.
There was, on that show, there was this other guy.
Paraplegia.
This other guy who said he was following the people who have been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been following around for years, and I can't wait to finally make my costume and get my superhero identity. And he picks out his costume,
Yeah.
and it's just a tiny-ass mask with a tiny cape that doesn't even go, it only goes like a quarter way down his back, and then he just has normal clothes on. He's been waiting so long just to get a little cloth over his shoulders.
Oh man.
My time has come. First awkward silence. Let it happen.
Let it happen. I wish somebody had a real fart during an episode. It's just like.
It sounds like, I don't know if you've seen the first Star Wars, the original one.
Yeah.
The Phantom Menace?
The episode
Oh, you mean
4.
episode 4?
When Obi-Wan shuts down the generator and it makes that noise, that's exactly what that just sounded like.
Oh.
We
I don't remember much of Star Wars.
Me neither.
We should do some off-the-cuff Urban Dictionary. You
Off
wanna?
the cuff?
Sure.
Off the.
Okay, folks, this
When
is-
I do it, we'll call it off the cuff.
Prepare thine cuffs.
When it's not as well prepared as when Nick does it.
So Jason's going to attempt Urban Dictionary without any preparation.
Yep. Okay.
How hard can this be?
I'm gonna have to think of some. All right, you guys talk about something while I figure out a thing.
Where were you on Tuesday night?
Nowhere.
Good.
Phew. It's a good thing I didn't slip up and tell him about that body. I think I slipped up.
Let's see.
You shouldn't have left us to talk.
Wait a minute. You know, one thing I want to talk about? What's up with mall parking lots? How come whenever someone gets in a
Right.
mall parking lot, they just forget all the rules of the road? They just pull out in front of everybody. That's it.
What's up with mall parking lots?
Let's see. All right. All right. I think I have one. Hold on. Let me think of two fake ones.
You're gonna try to think of fake ones off the top of your head.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna work.
All right. The word is Santaphobia. First definition is the irrational fear of sand. Second definition is the fear of Santa Claus watching you sleep, breaking into your home and giving you gifts. And the third is a mild obsession with the Santa Maria. Ask him, you go first. Oh, this will be yours.
Wait, did you make up the other two?
Yeah.
Or- Okay. See, I feel like the obvious one is 2, but then it could be 1, because I'll just try 2.
2 was the Santa Claus one. Yeah, it was that. That one was kind of hard to cover up. Let's see.
That's because when I make this game, I invest weeks into it.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
You
I
do.
do it in like an hour,
You do it really
just
well.
a tortured genius in the basement.
rocking back and forth.
What is the answer? I shouldn't rock back and forth. They can't see me. I go all the way with my pantomimes.
I thought you were going to say pants.
I'm not wearing pants.
Okay, I got another one. Ready?
Okay.
First definition is the word is a pastry originating from France.
You mean a croissant?
Second definition is a combination of the phrase flying fuck.
Okay.
And the third one is a large gathering of geese, usually accompanied by a male leader.
I think it's B.
Yeah. This is so
Okay,
much harder to
okay.
do.
I definitely cheated because I watched your eyes move.
I was
to read
I was
it.
trying to do that too, but then I stopped.
I was trying to make it look like I was reading. That doesn't work. Nick, cut this out.
Cut everything.
What's that episode of SpongeBob when he's trying to be a waiter? They're like, dump everything except his name or something like
Yeah.
that.
The episode where Squidward says he has a fancy 5-star restaurant. It's a good thing you asked me about SpongeBob because I have tons of knowledge.
SpongeBob.
You're a resident SpongeBob expert.
Yeah. It's like on Pawn Stars. I have this old SpongeBob model. He's like, let me go. I have a friend who knows a lot about SpongeBob stuff. Let me go ask him, and then we'll.
I feel like that joke went nowhere.
Yeah, it kind of flopped.
We should just title this episode Flop.
Yeah,
Flock.
it's not as bad as the High Horse. You know that show, Hardcore Pawn?
Yeah.
My mom was telling me a story how she was watching it one night, and the next day she went to work, and she was in the office with 2 other people in there,
Yeah.
and she just said to him, she's like, yeah, I was up all night watching hardcore porn. And she caught herself after.
Oh man.
It's funny.
I love how they name them all like Pawn Stars,
Yeah.
Hardcore Pawn. There's another one, I forgot what it's called though.
What about that one where they I've never seen the show, but it's where they buy the storage crate and
Oh,
they open
yeah.
it.
Storage Wars.
I wonder if there's ever been an episode where they open it and there's just a dead body.
So you notice once one of those shows gets popular, there's all of a sudden 3 more copies of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Just
Truth-
trying to do like some small change to it to make it unique.
I'm pretty sure all those shows are fake though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one show I really like on True TV that's actually not fake is Impractical Jokers.
Yeah, that's
That's
actually a
the
pretty
best
good show.
It's so ironic that the channel's called True TV.
Yeah,
every
everything-
single show is
And
just
that was
this-
one of my topics for 2 weeks ago, the Discovery Channel.
Mm.
It just sucks now. I mean, sure, they still play reruns of Mythbusters and stuff from time to time.
Moonshiners.
But yeah, like,
Watch, isn't it Tickle? Is his name Tickle?
yeah,
Something like that?
God, I don't even watch that channel anymore.
Watch him get drunk on camera.
Yeah,
It's so funny how they'll show commercials for like a show and amp it up to seem like it's so action packed. Like there's this
yeah, like the
gator guy on a tractor, and he's just like in a swamp, and the tractor's like trying to move, and he's like, and the music's like, whoa, like a giant movie, and he's like, it's heating up, and he's like, we're gonna get stuck, and then he just goes, oh no, and it's like
cut to
longer, yeah,
but then they come back and they're out fine, nothing happens.
yeah, right,
But like that thing where the guy was going to get eaten by an anaconda and they were going to pull him out.
Yeah.
They hyped that thing up for months and they finally showed it and he didn't even last more than like a minute. They pulled him out.
Oh,
but the
man.
thing that really bothered me
Wouldn't
was...
that have killed the anaconda?
Yeah, that's what a lot of animal rights
Yeah,
people were
that's
saying
messed
too.
up. He's just like, I'm gonna do this for my amusement.
But he,
how did they get the anaconda to eat him?
I don't know, but if you saw the video,
Slather
it wraps
him,
around
dead
him.
mice.
And then he's like, I think it's like a minute, not even 2 minutes in, he's like, it's crushing my arm, get me out of here.
Really?
But I don't know what he expected was going to happen though. But I think during Shark Week 2 years ago or last year, they aired that Megalodon thing, and they tried to pass it off as fact.
Yeah.
And they just keep airing all these false things, and they're trying to make it real. And like it was last year Shark Week where they aired something about a boat going down, a cruise ship, and they said it was infested by sharks and everything, and they had reenactments, and they kept saying it's a true story
Yeah.
until like the very end, and there's tiny letters at the bottom saying it's not a true story.
Oh, that's so lame.
I looked it up, and I guess there was an actual yacht crash, but there were no sharks. So they're just telling lies to try to get ratings.
Yeah.
I must admit, I watched an entire mermaid
Yeah,
thing on
that too.
Discovery.
I can see why, because they have to compete with Netflix and all this stuff, so if they don't do that, then they're off the air. But if you're going to promote yourself as a learning channel, just
Yeah.
actually,
I feel like
produce facts.
I feel like they'd be okay even if they just stuck to straight facts. It's like there's people like us that will watch it and be actually interested in what
Yeah, that's why
what happened.
I still kind of like the Science Channel. I
Yeah.
think that's part of Discovery, but they still actually air real shit.
Yeah.
And plus the whole dual survival thing, that's when I really just stopped watching Discovery after
Yeah.
they fired Cody.
He
Probably
probably
because he wouldn't wear shoes.
he wasn't action packed enough.
Yeah. Well, he said they wanted to do crazy stuff and he just wouldn't do it.
Wear
What kind of
shoes.
I don't know.
what kind of crazy stuff we talking about?
We want to share different socks.
Then again, we don't really have both sides of the story, but I have
Yeah,
a feeling Discovery Channel was just a dick about it.
yeah, they're probably just like this guy. No shoes,
But yeah, what
no
was
shirt,
that show?
no service.
Tickle,
I
yeah,
never watched it.
moonshiners.
Yeah, it was just about some guy who would sit around drinking moonshine.
Yeah.
How? Isn't that illegal?
Moonshining, yeah.
And they have a show on it.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. They have all these documentaries showing people grow weed and
Yeah.
make moonshine and stuff, but then
Or, like,
the people never get in trouble.
Doing heroin.
Not like I
all
want
that
them to
stuff.
get in trouble, but why would you broadcast that to national TV if you're
Yeah.
trying to hide it?
Oh, I saw this thing on Facebook that NASA's looking for volunteers to do a study where you have to spend 70 days in bed, and they'll pay you $18,000 to do it.
Whoa.
But you can. There's one group will do like exercise in the bed. The other group won't. But you can like go on your phone and laptop and play games and stuff while you're in the bed. You just can't get out of bed.
What kind of exercise?
Dude, what you
It's
did,
probably like the.
dude, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Remember Emmanuel? He must have been paid like 5 times over.
Right.
Wouldn't your muscles start to atrophy and stuff if you couldn't exercise though?
Well, I think that's what they're experimenting with to see like.
NASA's trying to create Grandpa Joe's.
They're trying to weaken us.
Yeah, everybody's staying back. They're trying to do experiments for like deep space or like Mars or something. Probably Mars.
We need to put more money into that though.
Yeah.
Or they're just trying to create body mass to shoot at the asteroid that's approaching Earth. Just a giant ball of like just people.
Yeah, I read a few months ago that the government was putting more money back into NASA. Like
yeah,
I think
after
it's
Obama shut down the space program.
I think it's so stupid that we spend so much money on war.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to the point of closing down our space program.
Like I've heard we make all these tanks and shit that we don't even use. They just
Yeah.
go straight in the manufacturing companies to a garage somewhere. We don't even use them.
Mhm.
They spend billions of dollars on it. Crazy.
Yeah.
Obama's like, we're shutting down the space program. That means no more funding for Pluto.
But then at the same time, I've heard
It's
stories of
out.
soldiers who barely have the equipment they need. So why don't they spend some money on their soldiers instead of the tanks that they're not going to use?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an expert, so I should probably shut
Rage
up.
Against the Machine, y'all. Awkward Silence number 2 was interrupted by Jason Blair.
We should send something into space. We should,
Jason.
we should get a balloon and send something.
Isn't there a radio or some kind of radio signal up there that's broadcasting a song?
I know they sent out. I think it was in like the 70s or something. They sent out this giant spacecraft that has a record, like a golden
That's
record
probably what it was.
that plays.
I saw something on that one hosted by Morgan Freeman, Beyond
The
Beyond the
wormhole?
Universe,
Or through the wormhole?
Through the wormhole, yeah. Where they were doing a thing, and they were like, we've been broadcasting radio signals into space, and one scientist was like, well, we won't hear back because it takes like 100 years for it to bounce to what we assume is the end of the universe.
But at the same time, you never know. They could have technology that could, to capture a signal, they could have technology that will get their signal to ours like instantly and back to them instantly.
I don't
So,
understand the idea.
Our
of,
signal could just be like, and theirs could be.
like, how do scientists assume what the end of the universe is? Just like, we don't see anything past that point. That's it. It's just a wall.
There's
Well,
some
I read that Michio Kaku, I think he was talking about, they did an experiment where they shot a laser out into space or something, and I can't remember if he said that they measured like the arc. They theorized that the edge of the universe is a giant bubble, and our existence is just a whole bunch of bubbles that like float float around. So we're just a bubble in some guy's bath.
Don't disturb that bubble.
But I can't remember what he said, but they sent out like three lasers to measure the outside, and he said it's like so big that even like shot out that far, all they got was like a perfectly flat surface. So like the spear gets so big that the radius of it just turns flat, and they theorized that could be what's happening. At the same time, I don't see how there's really any way you can measure the edge of the universe because
Well, there's some video going around online. I forgot who posted it, but again, it's just the internet, so it's bullshit or whatever. But it said that like this video will change the way you look at life, and it will blow your mind and everything. And then it just showed Earth, and it pulled back just to show how small Earth was in the universe. Like,
Yeah.
didn't we learn this stuff in middle school?
yeah,
But everyone in the comments is like, "Oh my god!"
yeah.
It feels so insignificant.
It's easy to forget though.
Just like, I'm going to be depressed for a little while.
But it's crazy. Like anything, you know, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He has a really popular podcast, and he talks about all this weird stuff too.
Oh really?
And
we're
He-
infringing on his
stepping on his game.
community.
No, he's got like one of the
You
most.
going down, Rogan?
He's got like one of the most popular podcasts in the world. I probably should advertise other podcasts aren't podcasts, but I'll cut it out. Anyway, he talks about
You should just leave it in now.
he talks about like how someone was asking him what he thought was going to happen in 2012. This was a couple years ago from a video,
Yeah.
and he was saying that it would actually be more remarkable if nothing happened. We could get hit by anything any second.
Yeah.
It's just like we're so lucky that the planet's still here. You know,
Yeah.
we could be taken out by an asteroid now.
I know. I always tell my dad that. I'm like, we could literally die in a split second because we're only tracking like 14% of the Earth's
But if you-
atmosphere. We're only covering 14% of our skies, so that other 86%, anything could be coming our way and we wouldn't know it. And my dad's always like, no, that's not going to happen. I'm like, it could happen any day. And he's like, no, if that happens, it won't happen for hundreds of years. And it's like, what's the difference between now and hundreds of years? When we've been here with our intelligence for a few thousand. Yeah.
I mean, I obviously don't want it to happen, but it's possible.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Where's Bruce Willis when you need him?
Stephen Hawking was saying, like, if we're going to survive as a species, we have to get off this planet. Otherwise,
Got to follow Matthew McConaughey.
yeah. You know, they have a space program that they're doing that in 20 years, like, you sign up for it, and in 20 years they send you to Mars and you stay there for the rest of your life to start the first establishment. If I didn't have any friends or family, I would totally be on that.
The people up there are going to be like, I kind of miss green.
That would be so cool. You'd be like part of the new Columbus.
The world's flat, dude.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It's flat.
It's square.
It's flat.
It's square.
It's a pancake, Jason.
All for the Zerd! It's a pancake.
Australians are just upside down.
Hang on. Kangaroos. Wait, are they even out in Australia?
Kangaroos? Yeah.
Damn well better be.
Wallabies. With their kangaroos with their tiny little arms struggling to hold on. How do they reach adulthood?
Little babies hang on to the pouch, it's ripping.
Oh, that's sick.
Paraplegic called me. He's just like, no. Ah! Oh, I was watching this thing called Inside the American Mob.
Yeah, I watched some of those last night
You
after
did?
you recommended it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. They show like tiers of the different levels of mobsters. It's probably not every single mobster, but they show like
The five families.
the original 5 families, and they form the committee, and it talks about like how they got together and made up these rules, and then like all the fights they had and the killings, and they actually show like the murder scenes of the bosses.
There was one where you could see like intestines and shit on the ground.
Yeah. Did you see the one where he's in the car like?
I saw the first episode and then I fell asleep when I woke up during the fourth one.
Oh,
so
really?
I missed the second and third played while I was asleep.
Oh yeah.
Is this broadcast on like basic cable?
Netflix?
Oh, okay.
There's one of the mob bosses is in a car, and it shows. I guess he got like shot with a shotgun or something,
Oh.
and it just shows his face just like in the seat of the car, leaning back.
I think it was in the first one. The dude who got shot on stage. He was at a rally or something, an Italian.
Oh yeah,
rally.
yeah. It's
And he
crazy.
He was in a coma for a while.
Is it a pizza rally?
It goes into wicked detail. We should stop talking about the
If the
mob.
mob doesn't take us out, an asteroid will. Pessimism. That's the title of this episode.
It's gonna get you.
Ooh.
The Sopranos poster behind Kiefer.
I'm uncomfortable now.
Is that a purple pool ball?
Oh, that.
Trying to say
yeah.
purple pool ball.
Purple pool
10
ball.
times fast.
Purple pool ball, purple pool ball, purple pool ball, purple pool ball, purple pool ball. Ah! I got like a 5.
Nick, how many can you do?
0.
Every one purple pool ball there.
I tried to say it and I have a stroke. Blah, blah.
You should do your clicking.
The Addams Family. Wait, no, that's. I don't know.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Did you hear Lurch? No, not Lurch. The The kid who played Pugsley died on the original Addams Family show.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
Well, he's not a kid anymore, but when he was a kid on TV.
Yeah.
He's like a 90-year-old man.
I think, yeah, he was in his 60s or something.
I'm way off.
I'll never be in my 60s.
You're just gonna go from 50 to 70.
A couple of podcasts ago, you wanted to be an old lady.
I still do. That's my goal, and I'm sticking to it. Hey, that's cool. We should make an R2D2 out of this. The original R2D2.
Yeah, that's like the one from the trailer. I found out that wasn't CG.
Really?
Yeah, for those listening, the Star Wars trailer for the new Star Wars movie, there's a little droid that rolls around on a ball, but it's actually practical. It's actual practical effects. It's a prop.
What?
I don't know how they got it.
Yeah, didn't Mark Hamill say it's a problem?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And then he went back to doing awesome voices.
I want to see that.
He's going to be on The Flash, I think, the Flash TV show. I don't watch those shows, but
Wait, they're making a Flash TV show?
yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of late to that
And
party.
there's a Daredevil one coming to Netflix.
Daredevil's coming?
To Netflix.
Is
a
Ben
series.
Affleck gonna be Daredevil
Nah.
again?
Wait, has there already been Daredevil?
There was a Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck, but I don't know.
See, I was thinking if I was gonna write the story for Daredevil, I'd start it off with him as a kid, and he's with his friends, and he's like walking on the railroad tracks, and a train comes, and like they hightail it, and he sees something on the tracks or something that he has to get, or like one of the kids drops his phone or something, and he just walks over and picks it up, and he's like looking at it, and the train's just flying at him. He looks at the train, he's just like, and right before the train hits him, he slowly just steps off the tracks and is like not even scathed by it. I think that'd be a cool way to start a movie, and then throughout the whole movie, just have him be in these crazy situations, like have one of the guys hand him a gun to play Russian roulette, and he's just like like nothing.
Are you guys looking forward to the new DC movies coming out?
I
I don't really like Superman, so I never watched Man of Steel.
Yeah. I watched it. It got mixed reviews. I kind of liked it, though. But they put out their whole slate. Like, they're doing Batman vs. Superman is next.
Oh yeah.
And then Suicide Squad, which is like, there's going to be a new Joker, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, what do you think Jared Leto can do that?
I don't know. I think the problem is everyone's going to be comparing him to Heath Ledger, which, I mean, rightfully so. That was probably the best Joker. But
Yeah, isn't there gonna be an Aquaman movie too?
yeah, they're saying Jason Momoa from Game of Thrones, Khal Drogo, he's supposed to play Aquaman.
Huh.
Because there's a theory in Man of Steel in the movie where Superman like ends up falling into the ocean, and you see these whales come up and get him, and there's a theory that Aquaman actually saved him.
Oh,
Oh,
But
shit.
so yeah, but the Joker thing, I think, like it's a completely different cinematic universe. So I don't know. But before Heath Ledger played the Joker in Nolan's trilogy, everyone said he was going to suck, and then look what happened.
Yeah. That sucks that he's dead, because I would totally watch like just the origin, like the
Origins.
origin of Joker.
And I think The Dark Knight Rises would have been so much better if he was back. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's-
actually, does Joker have an origin story? I don't think they've ever done that in a comic book.
I'm not sure. Well, I've heard
You don't know his name or anything.
I've heard he has a couple different backgrounds. Like from certain storylines, he was a mobster,
Oh.
and then something happened and he turned crazy. Then some storylines, he's just a psychopath.
Yeah, they must have used that storyline for the
Nolan's.
Tim Burton one,
Uh,
right?
Oh, yeah,
Jack Nicholson.
Well, I think he might have been a mobster. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, the mobster one. But then I think Heath Ledger.
And then he fell in the acid, and his face turned white for some reason.
I'm like just now like slowly realizing how fucking awesome of a character he was,
Yeah,
and we'll never see it again.
that was probably one of the best villains ever.
Yeah.
The performances
It
ever.
really is. It's so. Oh, I remember. I was watching a documentary or something. Remember when he's walking away from the hospital and he presses the button, and it doesn't go off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an accident. It
total
was
improv.
supposed to go off, but he was like.
Because Heath Ledger, when he was preparing for the role, I guess he's one of those method actors too, and he just dove into the role. And I guess he just cooped himself up in a hotel room and he just wrote this journal as if he were the Joker.
Yeah.
But the creepy thing is, the last page said something like "bye bye" or something like that. It's creepy.
Huh.
And I guess because when he was a kid, Heath Ledger, his sister, used to dress him up as a nurse, so I think that's part of the reason why he did the nurse outfit thing.
Yeah.
But it's just creepy that at the end he writes something like "goodbye" and then he actually ends up killing himself. Like a lot of people say that he just couldn't pull himself out of the role.
Yeah.
But then again, he could have had underlying problems.
So wait, how did he die again? 'Cause I'm
I
not.
think
drug
he
overdose.
overdosed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have just been an accident. You never know.
Yeah. Maybe he was like, this is gonna be my last role, so I'm gonna make it good, and then I'm out.
I think he would have got the Academy Award no matter what. But they gave him a posthumous? I think. It means when you're dead or something like that.
It's work that's done. It's
Freaking
here.
Tom Hardy gets to play 2 Batman villains because he played Bane in Dark Knight Rises, and now he's playing, I think, Deadshot in Suicide Squad.
I gotta watch the Batman series again. Like, I haven't sat down to watch them. How many movies are there out now?
Well, it depends. There's Tim Burton did 2, I think. Tim Burton did the Batman from the 80s,
Yeah.
and then he did Batman Returns, which was with Danny DeVito as Penguin and
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. And then after that, I think Michael Keaton was after that with Batman Forever. And then after that was Batman and Robin, which everyone hates. They say it's one of the worst superhero movies ever.
Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger
I
as
think
Mr.
so.
Freeze?
And the really crappy Bane and Poison Ivy. I mean, I used to like it as a kid, but watching it now, I can definitely see why people don't like it. And then after that, Nolan did Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Bane's voice in Dark Knight Rises, right? Dark Knight Rises. It was so surprising when I first heard it.
Did they change it at first? Because I remember the first trailers, it sounded so much deeper, but then I heard people couldn't understand it or something, so they had to change it.
Yeah,
It's just this massive muscular dude, and
He
he's just
sounds
like, "Hello."
You know they changed Darth Vader's voice. This is Darth Vader's actual voice.
For Darth Vader was another challenge. And action! Lucas had never intended to use the on-set vocal performance of David Prowse.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Start tearing this ship apart piece by piece until you find those tapes. Find the passengers of this vessel. I want them alive.
Oh God!
David Prowse's accent in the Darth Vader.
I want them alive.
I want them alive.
Carrie Fisher.
Ah, stop playing.
No, dude, that wouldn't have worked at all.
No.
They needed Mufasa. Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
I really fucking want to watch The Dark Knight now. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Fuck it.
You better watch Batman Begins.
Oh shit. Are these on Netflix?
I don't think so.
Like, do you have them on DVD?
No.
Fuck.
You better watch Batman Begins, otherwise you're not going to be able to notice that they changed Rachel between
Yeah.
movies.
Who?
Rachel? You know the one they killed off in Dark Knight?
They changed the actress. They had Katie Holmes in the first one, and then
Oh, I remember the one scene in Batman where he's like, she's here and he's there. Now, isn't like the addresses just switched or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
He
So he
switched.
gets there and it's the dude and
He
he's like,
saves Harvey Dent or Two-Face, whatever.
yeah.
And then he loses his mind. Rachel! And he had a fire face.
He wanted to come back to Aaron Eckhart, but Nolan said no. Two-Face was done
Yeah.
in that trilogy.
Well, because they killed him off
Yeah.
at the end of the movie.
It's funny. If you go back, like, to when these characters were created and you look at them,
Yeah.
Batman!
They're in spandex.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bat and a man. He's like, but now you look at them in the movies and they're so badass.
Because Nolan wanted to do like a what would happen if Batman were in the real world, basically. Like no
Yeah.
superpowers or anything, just really good martial arts and shit.
And lots of money.
Yeah.
And Lucius Fox.
I love the
That's
scene.
his name, right?
Yeah, when I think one of the guys who works for Wayne Enterprises, I think is in The Dark Knight, he's asking Lucius where all the money's going. And then Lucius is like, so you mean to tell me that you think this man is some vigilante who stalks the city at night, and you mean to threaten him? And the guy just shuts up because he's trying to get $1 million out of him or something.
Have you ever heard that Batman finds his voice video?
I don't think so.
No? Oh man, we should.
Where are all the drugs?
Yeah, we should play it.
He's just like, what did you say?
Come on, man, I got kids to feed.
I don't like falafel.
From the Daily Show.
Bad idea.
Thank you, that solves most of my problems.
Some guy just robbed a vendor. It's Batman.
Where were the other drugs going?
I never knew.
Wait, what?
I said, where are the other drugs going?
Why are you talking like that? It's a bad voice. It's a bad. Really goes against the whole dark
No.
Batman thing.
Are you kidding me?
I worked on that like all day. With, like,
Yeah, that's Pete Holmes.
sonar, high, squeaking.
It's not scary. It's silly.
I ran this by people I know, and they loved it. Bad. Oh, this is embarrassing. Can I please show you another one?
Sure.
Where were the other drugs going? Fuckface.
Malkovich?
Yeah. He's scary. He's like, I'm better. I'm stronger. I'm Batman.
No, it's totally wrong.
Where were the other drugs going, huh? How's your skin?
Why Pacino?
Maybe I am Al Pacino. You don't know. What's he do at night, huh? For a crime.
Not a Batman.
Hello, Governor. Where were the drugs going?
You represented Gotham. I wouldn't go British.
Hey, how you doing? Where were the other drugs going, huh? Hey! Where were the drugs going? Where were the other drugs going? Where were the other drugs going? ¿Dónde están los drogas? Where were the other drugs going? The silly, silly drugs. Where were they? Answer me, Herbertus! Where were the drugs? Supposed to be Dustin Hoffman. Where were the other drugs going?
Alright?
Yeah, fine. Where were the other drugs going?
Oh, wait. What was that?
What?
Do that again.
Where were the other drugs going?
You know what? That's not bad.
I just lost my voice.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Can I just say again?
Yeah, no, I swear to God.
Swear to me! Help me. I'm coming home.
Whoa, the other drugs going. Whoa! Oh man, that's so funny. Speaking of penguins, it's time for the next part in the series of
Drum roll.
PVU. Nick, insert the thingy here.
Alright. Actually, I'll just say it instead of cutting it. It'd be easier.
Okay.
Just leave all this in. In the last episode, I left the part in where I screwed up.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. In the animal justice system, penguin-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Penguin City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Penguin Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Dun dun.
Okay. Nick Kiefer, would you like to do a recap of last week?
Oh, I need to remember what happened.
You should do it where you say what happens, and then when it comes to the I'm Penguin, you just recapping the voices.
Oh. I'm trying to remember what happened.
Penguin.
He shot
Is
up
it
the courtroom.
Penguin or
Yeah.
Pangleton? I like
Pangolin. Pangolin.
Oh, I used penguin.
We should just.
You were the one who made up the name.
What'd you use?
Penguin.
Pangolin.
He's gonna be like Jerry from Parks and Rec.
I think I used Pangolin. You used Pangleton.
I used Pangolin.
You used Pangolin. Let's just keep changing his last name.
Okay. On the previous episode of Penguin Victims Unit, we saw Pangle shoot up the fucking courtroom and then get out of that rat trap. I don't know. And then he drove away with his hot wife, and they crashed into a river. This continues our story.
Okay. This is PVU Volume 3 by N.R.R. Bastian. Okay. The room was quiet. The dim moonlight seeped through a large window above a bed. 2 emperor penguins were sound asleep when a phone on the dresser started ringing. One penguin quickly jumped out of the bed and rushed to answer the phone. "Detective Reynolds," said the penguin. A muddled voice came through the receiver. "Reynolds! Captain Cod here. We need you out here now." "Sir, I'm still on suspension," the detective said. "Not anymore." "Give your wife a kiss and get the hell over to the river," the captain replied. "What's going on, sir?" "It's him. He's back." Detective Reynolds closed his eyes. "Are you sure?" he asked. There's a stack of bodies in the courtroom and a dead accomplice to prove it. Get out here now, the captain barked. On the way, said Detective Reynolds. He hung up the phone and started to change into his suit. The other penguin sat up in bed. She batted her long eyelashes and rubbed her beak. I can't do voices. What is it? She said. I've got to go, said the detective. He's back. Detective Reynolds arrived at the scene and saw Captain Cod standing on the large riverbank. His large gills were flaring. Reynolds could tell that his captain was nervous. A rookie officer approached the seasoned detective. What are we dealing with here, Reynolds? Pure evil, Reynolds said coldly. The rookie looked confused. What do you mean? Pangle Penguin. A psychotic being. He's black and white with red all over the edge of his blade. I put him away 10 years ago after he went on a killing spree in Far Forest. Those poor, poor squirrels. They sentenced him to 25 years in Icecatraz. The first day there, he walked up to the biggest seal and pecked his eyes out. They sent him to solitary, where he rotted for 9 years before escaping. No one knows how he got out, but he went off the grid for about a year. 2 of our officers got him on a random traffic stop about a month ago. Before they could get the cuffs on, he pulled a knife and dropped one of the officers. The rookie keeled over and started vomiting. Reynolds patted him on the back. Don't worry, kid. We're going to get the bastard. Detective Reynolds approached the riverbank to meet with the captain. Cod was addressing 2 officers in scuba gear. Search every inch of this river. Suddenly, Pangle Penguin leapt out of the murky water, holding a long blade. The menace flipped in midair and landed in front of the captain, plunging the cold blade into his chest. The captain fell to his fins as Pangle dove back into the cold river. Reynolds pulled out his sidearm and fired 3 shots into the water before rushing to his captain. You're going to be okay, Cap. Keep breathing, Reynolds said, holding Cod's limp fin. It's too late, the captain said, wheezing. Just get that shitbird. The captain flopped around for a few seconds, then all went still and 2 black X's filled his white eyes. Detective Reynolds tightened the grip on the pistol and stared at the river. To be continued.
Dun dun. Oh my
Maybe we
God.
gotta step up our game.
I loved when you went the voice.
I forgot to mention the part, I should have wrote it in, but I wrote this really fast, but the part when Pangle got arrested again, like when he killed the other officer, I was just assuming the other officer arrested him, that's how I ended up in court again.
Yeah.
So I should have added that in, but...
Nick was so careful about the details. We're just like, and he shoots up the courtroom.
I love how all 3 of our story parts are like completely like you could tell like whose is whose.
Yeah, like Jason's was like a few sentences long.
Yeah. I didn't know how long it was gonna
The
be.
captain was supposed to just be a giant cod in a suit.
Captain Cod, dude. It's a cod. Codfish?
Oh, I thought it was a penguin.
No. Detective Reynolds is a penguin, though, right?
So Captain Cod's dead, and Detective Reynolds is his
Reynolds?
study.
Alright, so I'm going to repeat myself like I do every week, but in case you're just tuning into this, we each take turns writing this little penguin story. So
It's not little.
this gigantic penguin epic. And Jason went
The
first.
Penguin Odyssey.
Kiefer went second. I just went, so now it's Jason's turn again. And the rules are the next person can add anything they want, change anything they want, as long as it still includes penguins, and they cannot change the past.
As long as it still includes penguins. We're totally gonna turn this into a book when it's done.
At the rate we're going, it's gonna last for like hundreds of volumes.
It's our only solid segment.
I want to write my part now. It's gonna be so ridiculous.
It better not be written in 15 minutes. Like mine was.
That was mine too. Well, no, this was 15, this was like 10.
Stop showing us up, Nick. You're making us look bad.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm gonna go. I was hoping there was a part in there where you'd have to yell. Pangle. Pangle.
So that's my PVU volume.
Sounds
Good
superb.
stuff.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Woo!
Captain Cod.
Get that shit bird.
Get that shit bird.
You know what we should do? when we recorded the whole thing at the end.
Yeah.
Me and you should be like certain characters in the story, and we'll do the voices, and then Nick will just. You'll be Captain Cod. I'll be.
Can you resurrect Captain Cod, Jason?
You could.
I could.
He can't
I could
go.
do anything.
It's too
A
soon.
zombie cod captain.
I could have Pangle pull off a suit and it's Captain Cod, then Captain Cod pull off a suit and it's Pangle. And he
then
killed
Pangle's dead.
Pangle killed Pangle. I'll have him beef in the future. I'm telling you, it's gonna get weird.
So the detective is on the case, the captain is dead, and Pangle still lurks the murky waters of the river.
What will happen next? Find out next week on the Penguin Victims Unit.
Or whenever we have another segment.
Yeah.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Beep, beep, beep.
Do you remember the detective on SVU who came in? He wasn't really a main character. He was kind of a side character.
Which
I can't
one?
remember his name. He was a younger white dude with short hair, short brown hair. I think he had a thing for Olivia at one point.
Oh, you mean her boyfriend? The guy
I'm not
who's
sure.
been on the insurance commercials? Was like, this is mayhem
Yeah,
calling.
yeah.
That guy?
They showed him in one of the episodes, one of the new SVU episodes, and I don't know if it's makeup or something, but he looks like 20 years older.
Yeah, I know. He looks
Crazy.
way older.
Yeah. And it's only been like maybe 10 years, if that.
Yeah, I think he was on the series like in its first season or something like that, and then he just like went away to do State Farm commercials.
I guess it's been on for a while.
I think it started 99. 15 years. Well, it's
crazy.
16 now.
So guys, I figured out how I'm going to build my comic vault. I'm going to use this thing called a Peltier device, which is like this piece of square, 2 pieces of metal, and you put 12 volts into it, and one side gets really hot and the other side gets wicked cold, and they use them for like CPUs and shit. So I'm going to shove one of those in the box and then hook it up to an Arduino and then program it. Nick's like, cut this out.
What are you gonna cook on the hot part?
Nothing.
You're not gonna cook anything?
No.
That's a useless hot piece of metal. Is it metal or wood?
Both, maybe. Yeah,
What?
2 to be determined.
I've heard Ben Affleck, I don't know what house it was, but he actually built a tiny bat cave in one of his houses.
Really?
The bookcase opened up and everything, you can go down inside.
Oh, man. Yeah, I seen a company that does that on TV.
He's just
before.
like, to the Batcave!
Someone had a Star Wars themed home theater, a Death Star themed home theater.
Really?
Crazy.
Does it explode?
Push the button, detonate. Oh yeah, real quick, just to get the Star Wars thing out of the way, I wanted to get into why, I don't know why it took me this long to notice this, but R2-D2 is a dick. Okay, so throughout,
like a penis?
he's, well, I don't know.
Like a jerk.
Yeah. So he's one of the few characters who's in all 6 movies, and soon to be all 7.
Yeah.
But what had happened at the end of the prequels is Luke Skywalker was born, Anakin Skywalker had turned to Darth Vader, and
Spoiler alert.
C-3PO and R2-D2 carried on into the next movies, but C-3PO had his memory wiped, but R2 didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole time, when R2-D2 was helping Luke Skywalker out, he could have just told him that Darth Vader was his father, but he just kept his mouth shut. 'Cause
You're right.
He can communicate to him through that little screen on
Yeah.
Luke's X-Wing. The whole time he couldn't be like, oh, by the way, you know that dude? That's your dad.
What an asshole.
So yeah, R2's a dick.
maybe he was just like,
Yeah.
men have to figure these things out themselves,
See?
and then lose their hand.
Yeah, remember the first time Yoda meets him, and Yoda has his stick, and R2 just gets his little boner, and he's like, and he grabs it.
That's another thing people point out all the time. In Episode 3, Yoda's hopping around with a lightsaber and doing all these crazy moves and everything.
Yeah.
And then in Empire Strikes Back, which is maybe 20 years later,
Yeah.
he's this old decrepit guy who can barely walk. It's like
Oh, man. Isn't Yoda like 300 years old or something?
900, I think, by
Wow.
the time he dies.
Doesn't he just disappear?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you showed me when he dies.
Yeah, we watched the movie.
Shit.
Doesn't Obi-Wan
Wait, is he
Kenobi
actually
also just
dead,
disappear?
Yeah. Well, they become one with the Force.
So they come back.
They basically become Force ghosts or whatever, so they're still...
You could be like a blue version of yourself.
Oh, like a Super Saiyan.
No.
They're completely different.
You know what part I didn't understand? Did you ever bother to watch Dragon Ball GT?
No.
Oh. Well, at the end of that series,
I'm not dealing with that crap.
I'm pretty sure, I don't remember if Goku dies or not, but at the end of it, like, all his friends and family, and he's just like, I'm gonna stay dead for a while, guys.
Dragon Ball. Dragon Balls.
Remember, kids in elementary school had those action figures all over the place.
Yeah.
I want to watch the original Dragon Ball.
I remember...
Like, not... Well, I like Dragon Ball Z, but I also like the original Dragon Ball where Goku's just a kid. It's so funny.
I befriended a kid in 4th grade because he had Dragon Ball Z shoes. Kids are so shallow.
Weren't we, like, huge into Dragon Ball Z?
I don't think so. I don't think I knew you.
What were you gonna say?
Dragon Ball Z was so, like, early 2000s.
I
Yeah.
remember in our elementary school playground, or on the playground, 2 kids got into a fight over Pokemon cards,
Yeah.
and they banned Pokemon cards. I remember in the note, they sent out a flyer, I don't know why I remember this, this was like 3rd grade, it said there would be no more Pokemon cards
Man.
allowed on school.
Oh, God.
How's
Teachers.
that pronounced? Like, technically?
I'm not sure.
I was
There's like an accent over the E, isn't there?
Pokemon.
I was
Pokemon.
literally such a Pokemon nerd.
Gojira.
It got to the point where I'd pick up rocks from outside on the playground, and I brought them in my pocket and pretended they were Pokeballs in the middle of class with, like, this other person. And he'd just be sitting across the room, and I'd pull out this rock, and I'd be like, I didn't throw it, but I'd just, like, make the motion.
I choose you, Snorlax.
Yeah.
You fell asleep and you're having a dream where you're catching Pokemon, you just whip the rock at the kid in your sleep.
It's Yuri.
I hit a kid. Yuri, if you're listening,
be.
if you're listening, we are so sorry.
Come on the podcast. Clear your name. Clear your name.
Clear Yuri name.
His grandma's like, where are you going at this hour, Yuri? I even named to defend.
He just comes in and shoots us all. Podcasters found dead in basement.
Suspect considered armed and dangerous, possibly carrying a satchel of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Guys, I want to build an actual lightsaber. Like when I go to Boston, I'm gonna have that shop, and they have a lathe there, and I could design a lightsaber and build it. I should make a Kickstarter for that.
I have a feeling it'll just explode the first time you try to use it.
It might. Did I tell you both of you guys my design theory for the lightsaber?
Yeah,
So,
you said
the
like a
spinning metal.
spinning thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you say something about diamond?
Well, my theory is that the only thing we don't have to make it is the power source, because they don't have any cables powering them, so it has to be some kind of like nuclear or some kind of alternate energy source that can make it spin that fast with just a battery. And technically we could just stick a huge battery in there, but I don't think it's going to have enough power.
Well, I know this is obviously completely fictional bullshit, but in Star Wars, the old lightsabers, this has nothing to do with this, but they were like attached to a little power pack on the
Oh,
side.
really?
So you could do something like that, maybe
Yeah.
have a little cord attached to it.
A fanny pack battery.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I was thinking if I made one for like the first version until we figure out how to power it, it would just be like a cable like out the bottom that just plugs into the wall.
You're
Then you
fighting
get-
someone, you have to go keep changing outlets. Get an extension cord.
There's no ground. It's just like
Darth Maul has 2 fanny pack batteries.
He trips a breaker.
I can just picture like a Sith is about to fight a Jedi, and the Jedi is just like, hold on, I gotta charge my saber."
time.
He's just like, hold on, it's not green yet. Let's do this.
I can't get my Bluetooth to connect. Oh man, but yeah, totally. I should I go into the? No, I'm not going to go into the details. I'll leave it mysterious. I know how to build a lightsaber, and I shall conquer the world.
Is this gonna be like one of your ideas where you like have it and you have it really vivid in your head and then you never follow through?
Like every other one of mine.
Like your drawing tablet?
Wait, what drawing?
About a drawing tablet.
Oh yeah, and I never really. Well, we drew. My girlfriend drew the freaking odd banner on that.
Didn't you draw Big Wing on it?
Yeah, I drew Big Wing. That picture of Big Wing. I drew that.
It's getting some use.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of use there.
That's what the title should be for one of the PV episodes, Huddled Masses.
Remy, you're tired. You're poor. You huddled penguins.
We should bring superheroes into PBU.
Bigwin. Introduce Bigwin.
Yeah.
You just see him up on a rooftop like this. The dramatic music starts playing.
Yep.
He just looks up with the goggles on.
It just shows him jump off. It shows a cliff. He's just like falling. And then you think he's going to start flapping and he just smacks on the bottom.
Should try to animate a trailer for the Big Wing
We
theatrical
should.
release.
We're at an hour and 8 minutes already.
Shit.
It's a long episode.
Yeah.
The theatrical trailer is just like, just imagine a penguin with giant wings. And they actually funded it for a movie. People are just like, I can imagine that.
Remember you gave him the nickname PP?
PP, yeah.
End of the line, PP!
End of the line, PP!
Oh man, maybe we should end it. Maybe we should quit. Just cut it. We'll put it out of its misery.
Oh, let's say thank you to our one Twitter follower.
Oh yeah, thank
Who
you.
we can't even bother to remember her name, but
Look it
Thank
up.
you.
Look
All
it
right,
up.
I'll look it up. You're getting a shout out. Twitter.com. Gonna give you a shout out. Maybe you'll tell some friends and we'll have 101,000 listeners. Becky Campbell. Thank you. And you can check out her website at radicalgeekery.com. Boom! Shout out.
yay.
Okay.
All right, follow us on Twitter at Freakin' Odd Pod, Facebook Freakin' Odd Podcast. Right.
Well, I think they're all freaking odd pod.
All right. Either or, freakinoddpod.com.
Hold on. www.facebook.com/freakandoddpod.
Right.
The letter N.
N.
No ampersand.
I feel like I should have thought this through when you were making the name.
And find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and if you still have a Zune, I guess Zune.
Sorry.
I'm going to buy a Zune.
And you can use our RSS feed with your favorite podcasting app at www.freakandoddpod.com/RSS.
The first couple times you said that, you were like, /RSS.
/RSS.
Still no inflection in your voice. Still flat.
I'll do it next week.
It's flat.
I did that because the first time I was gonna say it, I couldn't find it. I was like, let me find that. It took me like 5 minutes. I was like, all right, never mind. And I looked it up, and it was literally just freakingoddpod.com/RSS. Well, that's it.
Hold on. Let's send him off with the buzzing of the fluorescent.
Let's send him off with Nick saying something in the cod.
Thank you for listening to the Freakin' Odd Podcast. Farewell.
I promise to show you something really cool as long as you promise not to try it at home, okay? Okay. Now, everyone wants to know why my voice sounds higher when I inhale helium.
My simple fact is that helium is 6 times less dense than air, which means sound waves travel through it much faster, which makes my voice sound much higher. Now, the same effect can be achieved in reverse if I inhale something like
Sulfur hexafluoride, which is 6 times denser than air. I inhale some of that.
And my voice gets really low, although somehow I'm still funny. It's scientific!